Hello and welcome to Unbox the Podcast, the podcast that helps you live your best life. I'm your host, Sahar Huneidi-Palmer. Unbox Coffee Break started in the lockdown of 2020. What developed was a true sense of community, virtual community, and I found a new way to support my friends, followers, and those who needed help.
Everyone, it's Friday, it's full moon in Scorpio, and we're going to talk about the body tonight. And it's quite significant because today the full moon is a very special moon. To me, all full moons are special, but today there's a certain significance to it, that it works with the element of body, with the element of water, because it is in Scorpio, and it's also transiting, I think, into Uranus, and it's transiting into Taurus, and that links to the body as well. And if you think about it, where does the water lie within us? It's within the body, and water represents emotions. And that is something that I've been talking about and truly believe in, that your body, the first dimension of change, holds all the information that you need to start your own journey of self-awakening in order to align yourself with the kind of life that you want. The reason that I wanted to talk about the body is because last week I mentioned my friend in England. And speaking of England, to all my friends in England, happy V-Day. Although I am not sure that we are connected with what V-Day meant back then. We knew who the enemy was. And it was an occasion that was very special to me and to my late husband. In fact, the last DVD that we watched together was one that he ordered because he wanted to watch it with me, and it was about Dunkirk, and it was about V-Day. So happy V-Day. May we win all the battles that face us. But on a different level, I got really concerned about my friend in England because I know her. I know how well she takes care of her body energetically, emotionally. And yet she seems to have picked up COVID symptoms that affect only about 15%. So her symptoms, apart from the tight chest, are pains in the joint, fingers. She can't text anymore, things like that. And that really got me. And she's been working very hard. So I asked her to look after herself and look after her body. And she's not sleeping enough, I don't think. And she's trying to do everything on her own. And then she asked me, what do you do to take care of your body? And I really haven't realized until I made her a whole list on WhatsApp. So I've got about, 10, 15 things to share with you, but we'll keep it to 15 minutes today. And if I don't go through all of them, then I'll see you on Monday, and then we can carry on with the tips. If there's anything that you want to know more about, please DM me and I will send you the information. Is that okay, guys? Give me thumbs up so that I know it's okay. So this is my list of how I take care of myself and my body. Thank you in COVID, which I must tell you that I didn't before, because before I was so focused on taking care of my mom and then later my husband, and I really realized that I'm totally ignoring looking after myself. However, if you are supporting a lot of people around you, partners, children, etc., you need even more so to take care of your body, because if you're depleted, then nobody can rely on you and you are no good to anyone at all. So the first month or so of homestay, I literally could not move. My body didn't want to move. 2 of my family live with me and they were moving and totally fit people. And I thought, I'm going to get it by osmosis, but I didn't. It's just the body was so stubborn. So I stayed with it. And then eventually about 2 weeks ago or so, I just got up and I started doing things. My body is responding to them. They're giving results. And this is what I like. I always look for simple, short, effective means of getting results in the shortest time possible to encourage myself and to inspire myself to keep going. So here's number 1. And remember, this is not about fitness. This is about caring for the body. I'm not there on fitness yet, working on it. But I think to have a healthy body is important. A body that doesn't have inflammation, a body that doesn't have disease. That's a thing to aim for, Suppleness is very important. Then you can work on the fitness, take it one step at a time. So the first thing that I do, and this is like really quite religious, is I normally like to have my coffee on my own for about an hour. Sometimes my cousin pops in, says good morning. So it's a short coffee followed by Turkish coffee, which I absolutely love. And Turkish coffee, you need to chat. You can't have it on your own. So he comes in with the Turkish coffee and we kind of reflect on the day, what has happened, what news has he heard, whatever. So that happens after I have my hour or so on my own. Hello, thank you for joining us. And it's so important, that hour in the morning, because I think it's almost like incubator. It sets the tone, it sets the mood for the day. Even though it's just broad lines, but I get in touch with how I feel, how did I wake up, am I inspired with anything? And I just run it like a movie in my head. So coffee time is when I also bring up nice memories. I kind of charge myself up when I bring out those files and I relive them in my mind, and that kind of brings my energy, my vibration up. After I've done that, I make up new memories. So just as in the same way that you remember old memories, you can make new ones in your mind. And that's what I do. I kind of, breathe deeply, go into a meditative state as I sip my coffee. So nothing serious. I'm just enjoying this. And I start kind of remembering how my life would be, which is very, very important. And that is already a good start for the day. I forgot to bring you my face towel, which I keep in the freezer. I keep it in a sandwich bag in the freezer. It's a very small face towel. And it's really important because it just wakes up the face. It also gets the circulation going. And here in Dubai, we used to have a lot of air pollution. Now it's quieted down because there's no more building. But I had this, amazing sinus problem. In England too, from hay fever, but I sorted it out because I could get local honey from nearby farms. But here, it's not the hay fever, it's the dust and the things in the air. So the cold towel takes care of that. It is also amazing for your skin. It gets the circulation going, it tightens your skin, it cools the eyes, the sinuses again. The effect is amazing. Everything is in the right place, it's tight, it keeps you young. So have a towel face in the freezer. I then put it on the back of my neck, which is really, really important. And then I put it on the shoulders because, your neck, your shoulders are all one part and you need to kind of get things going there. So that's my second thing. By then, kind of half awake. So I get up and I stretch to that music that I told you about in the last coffee break. Do very light exercises. We're talking about the body. Maybe you can come in and give us some tips. I do stretches because I've learned something 20, 30 years ago from my healing Tao and Qigong techniques. You are as young as your spine is. And I've spent a long time sitting on a desk at my table seeing clients, that it was really important to take care of my spine. And one time I went to the, NHS GP, just, general thingy, and they measure your weight and your height, and I was shorter by 1 centimeter, which got me really down. And I kept saying, measure it again. But really, it's all that slouching. So, lesson learned, I started stretching. I use certain Qigong exercises. I combine it with very mild yoga techniques. I'm not there yet, but whatever I'm doing is really giving me results. To keep the spine stretched supple is so important. Think about it. It's what connects your brain to the rest of your body, to the nerve endings on your tummy. So it's so important to keep the spine going. That's number 3. Number 4, guys, the skin is an organ. It's not an accessory. The skin is your barrier to disease. And that I learned since O-level biology. Don't look at the skin as something exterior. It is really an organ. So the 4th thing that I do is I've always dry brushed in the morning. It's basically a bristle brush with natural bristle. I think mine is wild boar bristle. And it's quite harsh but bearable. And you just brush the body before the shower, working your way up towards the heart. It's so important. It's very good for cellulite. I don't have cellulite. I'm 57, no cellulite. But I like to brush because to move the lymph. I do have an issue with retaining water because I don't move as much as I should do. Okay, so what did you say, especially about your liver and your lungs? So dry brush, very important. In England, it's easy to buy. You could almost buy it anywhere. Boots. I love Kent, the brand Kent. We've been using it since the 60s. My brush that I have, which is a Kent, is, about 20 years old. And I have a hairbrush, which is about 45 years old. The handle broke. It's Kent. It still works. It's amazing. So really invest in a good body brush that you can brush your skin, remove dead cells, keep the skin healthy, encourage circulation. You will feel good, and that raises your immunity. I mean, what a simple thing to do for yourself to look after your body. Yes, oh gosh, really? Okay, so the skin says something about the liver and your lungs. I know that it says thing about the liver because you know what, you get like liver spots. But how does it say your skin? How does it say about the lungs? Is it because of the way that you breathe and whether the blood and the oxygen circulate? Excellent. So that's number 4. Okay, can you remember where we are? Number 5. I do face fitness exercises that I have learned from my friend and colleague Anna Khan in Dubai. And the point of face fitness is not only to rejuvenate naturally, but more importantly, we carry a lot of tension in our facial muscles. I think we've got like 52 facial muscles, which is really amazing. And I know when my father passed away, I started with the TMG and, you know, like where you clench your jaws, some people grind. And a lot of tension accumulates here. And this is where you communicate. This is where you express yourself. And this is where all the wrinkles kind of start because of all this tension that the muscles contract and the skin loosens. So when we do these exercises, I realized that it really made me feel good. And it's not just the face. We do the hair, you know, we kind of go up and down. We do the ears to move the lymph system. I learned also all about the neck, you know, the shoulders, the posture. So by the time I'm done with these, that's about 20 minutes. But when you get used to them, it might take 10 or 5. But I take my time because I really enjoy them. And not only that, it really puts your mind at ease. You know, by the time you've brushed the scalp, you've done your posture, you've done your neck, like a simple exercise if you want, you know, if you just touch your face without squeezing it and you open your mouth very slowly up and down. If I do that a few times, I start yawning and I release all that tension. I mean, it's absolutely incredible face fitness. Look her up, Anna Khan. I think her handle is Age Gracefully. So that is number 5. Number 6, which is probably the last one for today, and I'll do the remaining 6 on Monday so that I can get this video up on IGTV and you can watch it. And guys, give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this. I need to know if I'm on the right track with what you're interested in. Number 6 is, after I've done all of that, then I take my vitamins and I take a smoothie from frozen fruits. They are as good as fresh fruits, actually. Because when they're frozen with all the nutrients in them. I like raspberries a lot. I think they're a great detox. And sometimes we have acai. My niece is very big on acai. Thank you. So I mix that. And I also add to it collagen powder and protein powder. But the collagen and the protein have, I don't want to say they're special ingredients, but they don't have garbage in them. So it's very important what makes you buy. And it's very important that you look at the ingredients and you make sure that they don't have rubbish in them. Because some stuff filters in the kidneys, it doesn't get digested, and then you'll have problems. And I've learned all of that. I've learned all of that from friends and colleagues that I've met, you know, in the last 30 years, especially in England. We were interested in the same thing. They came as a client, and I've learned all these things. I've researched them. So I know what ingredients to look for. So my vitamins are food-based, food factor. And in England, I can't order them now because of COVID, but if you live in England or maybe in Europe, you can order them. The company is called Wise Owl, and they are made by a person called Eric Llewellyn, and he is one of a handful of people around the world who are licensed to make their own supplements. My husband and I did a lot of podcasts with him on why ingredients are important and how does the body accept those nutrients. So to cut a long story short, food-based, make sure you've got the right ingredients. And the other person that I get supplements from is my friend in the States, and she uses naturopathic supplements. When need to, I use them more like medicine rather than food supplements. I forgot what they're called now. Herbamed, I think. Yeah. So supplements are really important, especially here. Collagen is important because it rebuilds your ligaments, your joints, your skin. It was one of the things that really made a difference when I looked after my mom. You know, as you get older, you get, dehydrated. The skin becomes really sensitive and thin. So thankfully, she had amazing skin that helped her protected because, you know, you could like bump into a door and then you scathe your whole skin. It can be really quite dangerous. And I suddenly looked at it and I said, why am I not doing that for myself? So I started using it and it's absolutely amazing. you want to stop everything from going south, especially if you are a therapist like me and you spend a lot of time sitting at your desk. This one about self-care, I was really happily surprised that a lot of people liked, and I got a lot of messages and a lot of people asked me about the products that I've talked about. So, والله أنا كمان اشتقت لكم. Thank you. I got a lot of messages about the stuff that we spoke about. So I'm going to experiment here, and I think I can show you a picture of what we covered last time. Okay? So I'll leave it in the story, so you'll have a summary of what we talked about. So we talked about number 1, my tip, what I do. Obviously, you find your own list, you create your own list. But what I do is the first thing I do in the morning is I have my coffee on my own and I recall positive memories. So I really bring them up. I spend some time thinking about them, replaying them in my mind with a silly face, a silly smile on my face. And that's how I start my day. Number 2 was I use the freezer towel. Literally, I keep a face towel in the freezer, wet it, squeeze it, put it on in the morning. It takes a minute for it to melt, but it does not only refresh, and it's not only just good for the skin, but it gets the circulation going. And if you've got a sinus issue, it really helps to calm the inflammation down. The third thing that I do is that I do the spine stretches. If you remember, I mentioned how my Qigong teacher, master, always said that you are as young as your spine. So we're not talking about gym fitness. We are talking about staying healthy, stretching, doing the bare minimum so that your body is healthy, immunity goes up, you are relaxed, and then we can move on to the next dimension, which is the emotions. And then we've got the number 4 is the dry brush. I keep forgetting the dry. No, it's here. I did remember to bring it along, and this is the dry brush. So it's natural bristle, and like I literally dry brush before the shower, after the shower, but usually before the shower, quite honestly, because you get rid of dead skin, but it's also nice for the lymph system. I've got an issue with the lymph system because I've spent a long time sitting down, and this helps to move things around. And then I do my face fitness exercises. Look them up at anakhan.agegracefully. She does put a lot of stuff on. In fact, we meet once a week on a Sunday. We have a little group and we do the face exercises together, face fitness, but it's really the head, the scalp, the neck, the shoulders, taking all the stress out. And if you notice, we hold a lot of tension in our facial muscles. It's really a nice thing to start. We're just recapping on the tips from last time, and then I'll move for the tips for tonight's coffee break. And then I spoke about number 6, which is food-based vitamins, which are really important. You can find your own at any good pharmacy. Ask the pharmacist what the ingredients are and ask him if they are digested or do they precipitate in the kidneys. And they should tell you if it's a good pharmacist. But what you want to look for is food-based products because they get absorbed by the body and you have none of the nasty stuff. I get mine from Wise Owl, not at the moment because there's no post at the moment, but if you live in England and Europe, you probably can. In Dubai, there's a lot of good brands, New Chapter, Chapter Food. Do ask and you will find them. So I want to share with you what I do for number 7, which is I start my day with a protein and collagen smoothie. There we are. So that's the stuff for today. The collagen I showed you, but I'll put a picture. Actually, quite a lot of people message me asking me about the collagen. I really like it. I used it for mom. It really helped keep her skin. You know, she lived till 92. So you can take a screenshot, but I'll put everything in the story afterwards and you can take a screenshot. And it really helped. It keeps the skin. It's not just about looks, but it's about really feeling good, not just looking good. And it keeps the skin supple, the joints. It kind of keeps you young, you know, because we lose a lot of moisture. So that's really important. Number 8 is I use salt baths to scrub. I make my own from Himalayan salt and it smells really good. And I put lavender. I really, really like almond oil for my skin. I've got quite a dry skin. Is really good. I put macadamia oil. You know, it depends. Experiment. Find the nice oil for you. All my oils are organic. I order them online. You know, you don't want any of nasty stuff on your skin because it gets absorbed directly. As I said, the skin is an organ. So look after the skin. But the salt also cleanses your energy, your aura. I don't know, you just feel good, don't you, when you go to the beach and swim. I also get mine from my friend. She puts, Katrina Valente, she puts a rose crystal in. Actually, in this one, I've put a little bit of rose water. I remember my friend telling me rose water for women is very, very good. Well, it makes you feel good, doesn't it? And I love roses. So Himalayan salt, organic essential oils, and you scrub it all over. Give yourself a good scrub and then just rinse it. There's no need to wash it because the oil is actually quite good and the salt does cleanse the body. The next tip, number 9, is I use this foot thing. It's like sandpaper, but really, really fine for the skin. And I do it under the shower. And I learned this from a friend of mine who lived in Zimbabwe with a native tribe. What they used is the stone. I used to use pumice stone, but it's quite huge and it doesn't go around the face very well. The interesting thing is that here in the Gulf, in the Emirates, there are remains of a fish that look like a bone, but it's not a bone, it looks like a stone, and it's really quite fine, and it's excellent for the skin. We can't go to the beach right now. So I've improvised, and I've used this feet scrubber. It's called OPI. I mean, really from any pharmacy. It's nothing special, but it's so fine that you can really use it on the skin. And it's absolutely fantastic, you know, especially for up here. I don't know, it just feels good to kind of exfoliate. So I do that every time in the shower. And a friend of mine said, you know, you scrub and buff and whatever too often. I don't think it's too often, especially if you have a dry skin. And at the moment, I noticed that it's extra dry because we're indoors. And here, the AC is on. If you live in a warm country, you probably have the heater on. And my skin in England was so dry because of the heater and the cold weather. So you see what suits you and develop your own routine. Develop your own routine. This is the thing. Next, when you've done all of that, then I sit at my dressing table. I've got a gorgeous dressing table. Well, I made it into one. And I brought the outdoors indoors, and I've put little roses, stickers. Where's my list? I take my time putting face rushing because you need to get, people usually miss is these areas, you know, like the end towards the ears, behind the ear, down the throat, you know, into the chest, and I even get the shoulders. And I put as much on my hands rushing because you need to get, you know, what people usually miss is these areas, you know, like the end towards the ears, behind the ear, down the throat, you know, into the chest, and I even get the shoulders. And I put as much on my hands as I do on my face because people just take care of their faces and they forget. But these are the parts of the body that are always exposed, you know, when driving, in the wind. I use the salt scrub on the lips as well. So kind of take your time. The point is to take your time to feel. You're nurturing yourself. You're looking after your body. And it really feels good if you start the day in a way like that. You know, if you allow the body, if you tell your body you're looking after it and you allow it to relax, then that's your foundation. And then everything else builds on top. And gradually you'll get the alignment. And no matter how much you wobble, you'll always be in the center. And I can't tell you, life starts going smoothly. Everything falls in the right place. And what else are you going to do? I mean, I don't listen to anything about COVID anymore. I don't watch anything. I don't want to know. Let them get on with it. Just focusing on what I can do. And I really do spend some time bringing up good memories. And I will move to the next step, which is relax meditation. I found this app a while ago on iTunes. I don't know, I'm sure you can find it on, you know, Google, whatever, if you've got another phone. And it's really amazing. I've tried so many of them. I'll show you a screenshot of the app. This is the app. It's called Relax Melodies. And I've been experimenting with it for a while. You can build your own meditative music. You can use different nature sounds, rain, waterfall, etc. But recently, I found that they've added like a brain scan. They've added binaural sounds, and I got the right combination, and it's just heaven. 3 or 4. I use 3 or 4 sounds. Absolutely amazing. If you get the app, then I can send you my combination. So just send me a direct message. I'll try and send you the combination that I found because the 4 things work together, and I really feel it. It does scan the brain. It kind of rewires it. And I use that time when I do the relaxation meditation, when I go into bed, I use that time to to make up new good memories. Yeah, so now we've moved to number 12, which is make new memories. And at the end of the day, when you relax, this is the time to make new memories. And listening to the music, because you're working with the brain, it really relaxes the brain, it rewires the brain, if you will. I don't know, it really feels good. Anyway, it does no harm, which is amazing. And that meditation works. And once you get into the rhythm of doing this, next day, repeat. If you've got time in the afternoon, you can take one thing, maybe do the meditation, maybe do number 1, bring up nice memories, maybe do number 12, which is make up new memories. And I do it every day. And recently I noticed my sleeping rhythms have changed. Okay, fine. What can I do? I get up early, then sleep in the middle of the afternoon, and then stay up late. And sometimes I'm really sleepy by 7. Don't frustrate yourself. The whole thing is to ride the wave and allow it to be what it is. It isn't just to do with COVID. There's a lot of changes going on the planet and the universe. And this is why we're going through this. I personally believe if I take it as a reset time, then I can accept it and I can live with it. And once you've done that, once the emotions have settled, you kind of move into the third dimension. Remember the 4 dimensions of change? Then you can move into the third dimension, which is the mind. And I think I kind of started moving there because I have been writing poetry and I haven't written for like 30 years. And emotions and the mind are very much intertwined. So whatever you think, you feel will trigger emotions. Whatever emotions are triggered within you will kind of also trigger your belief system. So I think from what I've been going through, but I will know probably by the end of the week, I started moving into the third dimension. And it's different. If you notice yourself, it's really different. And also, actually, a friend of mine told me about this mat. Here we are. And this mat has like needles and pins. Well, not needles and pins. I mean, they're plastic pointed stuff. But it's so good. It's kind of like acupuncture. And you can see the needles. And you lie on it, you walk on it, you step on it. It's just brilliant. It's like giving yourself kind of a really annoying massage that does really well. So that's another thing that I use. This is how I cope with it, really. And I know that it works because it has been working. I have been feeling a lot better. Body is a lot better, energetic. I'm stretching like crazy and the body is responding, which is really nice. And the emotions have been stirred in the right way after that big tiff that I spoke about in an earlier coffee break. So check it out and let me know what works for you. Let me know what tips you tried, you liked, that has done something for you. I would really appreciate to hear from you. For my tribe who are stuck with coffee break, I have a gift for you. If you want it, let me know. DM me and I'll send you the link tomorrow. And basically, it's a body exercise that you go through. You find out which parts of your body you're not connected with, which parts of your body have pains, aches, and then you understand why. And then there's a little drawing that I will ask you to do. This is the drawing. You will fill it up. You will color it according to the body statements that you have uncovered for yourself. And when you're done, it looks something like that. So the red spots are where you're blocked, where you have pain, and the green spots are where you feel okay. And when you see something that is intangible and you see it in a tangible way, then you get to understand the state of your body. And then you really focus on those areas, during the day or in your exercise or in your meditation. And you come to have a closer relationship with your body. Everything you need to know is in your body. Dramas, traumas, emotions, belief system, past, present, future, everything. Because your body is your vehicle. If you didn't have a body, you wouldn't be here. And that is why, for me, the body, in terms of wellness, is really, really important. So I used to do that for my mom. I looked after her for like 7 years. She passed away. She was 92. And then in homestay, I thought, why am I not doing that for me? It worked for her, you know? And this is how I've noticed that this stuff works. We used to do the face exercises together, the stretching, a little bit of yoga for the joints, you know, and so on. So I'm going through the same regime and I'm adding stuff to it. So hope you enjoyed today. Send me your suggestions, send me your questions. Let me know what else you'd like to chat about in coffee break. Let me know what worked for you. And remember, if you DM me, I will send you that body exercise to help you to connect with your body. And I think I will do that every coffee break. If I can help you in any way, don't get stuck. Don't get bogged down by all this negativity that is going around. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you can do. And believe me, now is the time to take that inner journey. And there is quite a lot to discover. I want to thank you all for joining me. And I'll see you on Wednesday, and then Friday, and then Monday, and then Wednesday, and then Friday. Finally, today is Kofia Day. So this is my Kofia. And actually, I wrote a poem about it 2 days ago. It was given to me as a present from my cousin. If you don't know what Kofia Day is, look it up. Which is what my nieces tell me all the time. Whenever I ask them something, oh, look it up, Google it, search it. But I don't know. I love it. Take care. I love you and thank you for joining me. Bye for now.